Now let's do a little bit of division of rational expressions. Again, and I know I keep saying this, but we're using the same skills that we have. We know all the rules for fractions, so we'll do a quick repeat of that. And then, of course, all of our factoring skills. So let's just take a quick look at how we divide a fraction. And we remember that we keep the first fraction the same, and then we change the division to multiplication, and we flip it or use the reciprocal. And then, of course, once we've done that, we just use the fraction multiplication rule, which is multiply straight across. So exactly the same for fractions, and this was the process. And then we do the same thing that we did when we were multiplying rational expressions, where we just put the numerators and denominators together after we factored them. And then we simplify, looking for anything that's exactly the same on the top and on the bottom. So let's do a basic one again. Let's start with something that we would have seen in Dev Math 1, and that is, I'm just going to go ahead and put everything into factors. So 3 times x, and then remember I'm flipping, so this is going to be 5 times x, and I'm skipping writing out a step here just because this is a small problem, and I want to get through this quickly so we can get to the good stuff. 4, 5, and then we have 3 times x, and then again we look for the same, anything the same top and bottom. And there's a 3, and we are going to circle anything that we haven't simplified out, so we're left with 5 all over x squared. And notice that we're using the same process that we did with multiplication. We just have that one extra step, and I'm going to go ahead and write that extra step on this one so you don't forget that this is, what you have to do. And it is division, so our first step is to change it to multiplication. And of course that means we are flipping that second fraction or rational expression. And now we're just going to go ahead and put everything into all the numerators into most factored form. And 6, of course, is 2 times 3. And x plus y squared is x plus y times x plus y. This makes it nice and easy to see. And then anything that's the same. And what's left in the numerator is 1, of course. Remember that if we've simplified everything that's up there, there's still a 1 in the numerator. And then the x plus y. And if you want to put it in parentheses to remind yourself that it has to stay together, that's fine. Let's do the next one. And the first thing that I'm going to do is flip it. Flip the second. And then we're going to put everything into factored form and join it up as we go. So here I've got 4 and plus 4. And then 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. I guess by that token I should have factored that 4, but I'm not going to go back and do that now. And 10 is 2 times 5. And this has a 3 greatest common factor. And that gives us m plus 4 when we take the greatest common factor out of that. Anything the same in the numerator and the denominator. We'll circle anything that's left over. And we're left with 12 over 5. So remember that it is possible when we're multiplying and dividing rational expressions to just get nice pretty little numbers at the end also. And now we've got something a little bit more complex. Remembering we're just going to rewrite it. And we do want to take this step so you don't get lost when you are doing your factoring. Oops. And now we're multiplying and flipping the second. And you do want to be pretty careful when you're writing this. This is a really easy place to make a mistake. And now we're just going to go ahead and do what we've been doing, which is factoring the numerator. And keep in mind that I'm not discussing how we're doing the factoring. I'm expecting that you kind of pause and try to do this and then factor it on your own. And if you're not, you want to go back and practice your factoring skills, most definitely. And now we're factoring this part of the numerator. Now we're going to move to the denominator. And here we have a perfect square. And everything's factored in. Now we just look for what's the same in the numerator and the denominator. So here I've got an x minus 4. Here 2, let's see, so, there's an x plus 5. And what we have left is there's a 2x plus 3. So what we have left is just x minus 1 over 2x minus 3, so x minus 1, putting in parentheses to remind you that you can't split them up, and we don't have any more of the same factor, so we're done. And let's go ahead and look at the next. First things first, we're going to rewrite it. We leave the first one alone. Change the division to multiplication, flip the second. Factor anything that we can. X plus 4, we can't factor any further, so we just bring it with. So now we're focused on this. Everything's in factored form, so we look for anything that's the same, top and bottom. X minus 1, X plus 5. Most simplified form is whatever is left over, and you're done. So you want to go ahead and practice the heck out of this.